Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and if you're here for the very first time, it's an absolute pleasure to meet you. I'm Jane and my husband Mike is holding the camera. We're British early retirees, we have no debt, we've paid off the mortgage, and we live a thrifty, frugal and money-saving life here in Aude in the Occitanie region of the south of France. And every Wednesday we invite you in for a mid-week money chat. As you can see by the surroundings, I am standing in the kitchen, because this is the room that is costing us all so much money. Grocery prices are completely out of control, and this video this week is how we cope. My first strategy with the supermarket is that I am absolutely intentional. I'm very purposeful, and this is the main part of it. I aim to go as infrequently as possible. I aim to have as bigger gaps between going to the supermarket as possible. And that means I need to be organised. I'm going to share all of those organisational tips and how I get to go as infrequently as possible. Because it isn't the big main shop when you walk through the door with a list. It's the things that we forget and then we go to the supermarket. If your supermarkets are like ours, bread is at the back of the supermarket. You want to walk past everything. Milk is at the back of the supermarket. Eggs are at the back of the supermarket. And they do that purposely, knowing when you go in there for that loaf of bread or that packet of eggs or that bottle of milk, you've got to walk past everything else, and a bargain or a deal could just catch my eye. So my aim is to be as organised as possible and intentional and go as infrequently as possible. The second one might sound absolutely obvious, but I promise you there are people out there who don't do this. You and I as frugal people probably all do this, and it's this one. We've got a supermarket budget. We know how much it is per month. We know how much we're going to break that down into weekly. And we know, therefore, how much we're going to break that down into the parts of the spending within the supermarket. Our percentage we're going to spend on proteins, the percentage we're going to spend on fresh fruit and vegetables, the percentage that we're going to spend on pantry staples, the flour, the eggs, the milk, those things that we buy all of the time. So having a budget, sticking to that budget and tracking that budget is something, again, like my intentionality of making sure I go as infrequently as possible is also tracking that I have that budget and I absolutely stick to it. The next thing I do is I hold off buying certain items, especially things like meat or big expensive items like coffee. I wait for them to come up on sale. And I'll get Mike to put something up on screen now of how I use the supermarket websites to look at the deals, sales and offers that are coming up. And each week they put this week's offer and next week's offer. So even if I've waited from this week to next week, can I wait one more week to buy the proteins that I need or the big expensive items, for example, toiletries or laundry products or a cleaning product that I need? Can I hold off a bit longer until it comes up on sale? Before I even think of the supermarket, before I think of a list, I do regular stock checks. Of course, I check my pantry. Check my cleaning supplies. I check my fridge. And I check my freezer. In most cases, we have completely dropped branded goods. Of course, I'll buy Heinz ketchup if it is deeply discounted on super sale and it's cheaper than the store brand. But when it comes to things like cornichons, or you would just call them pickles, or just a flavourless oil, or my decaf coffee, I'll go with the store brand. It saves me at least 50% every single time. The most expensive thing in the supermarket at the moment has got to be meat, hasn't it? So more and more of our meals are meat-free, and there are so many very easy meat-free swaps. So if you saw a previous video where I did a load of batch cooking, I've got here ready to go. These are my beanie burgers made from chickpeas. Pull them out the freezer, pop them in some oil and cook them, ready to go. Fantastic in any way. I'm always adding lentils. I keep dried lentils, of course, but I always keep in tins of lentils like this. €1.02 for half a kilo of lentils when drained. Fantastic value. I will often make things like moussaka, cottage pie, lasagna, and I will use this much meat, and that is 250 grams or half a pound of meat, and that would feed 4 people because I've added in lots of vegetables, or I've added in lentils, or I've just removed the meat altogether. So go for meat-free meals as often as we possibly can. The next one is I am really price aware, and I keep those prices front. You'll see all the time I write the price on everything. I also track everything in my budget book, and every single month I keep all of my supermarket receipts. At any time I can refer back or check what things are costing me, or if I've made a meal, how much did I pay for that meat? And often when I split meat and stick it in the freezer, I use a Sharpie and I write it on the bag how much that's costing me. It really saves me money, and it just keeps me really focused, being price aware. I never wanted to come through the door at the end of a working day and start thinking about what I was going to cook for dinner. I just didn't have the energy. So I have always meal planned, and I still do it to this day. But not only do I meal plan, I also batch cook for my freezer. And let's see what I've got in my freezer. I've got pastry made. I've got a pasty made. I've got an apple crumble. I've got beanie burgers, bubble and squeak. I've got meatballs and tomato sauce. I've got soups. I've always got meals in my freezer. The biggest money saver that I have personally are my freezers. Let's see how I use these to really save me money. If I have part used creams or mascarpone or anything like that, they go in the freezer. I can just defrost it, add it to any ingredients that I need in the future. So we don't have to go to the shops frequently. So we just go as infrequently as possible. All our bread gets frozen. If I have any vegetables that are on sale, on deal, on an offer, for example, peppers or leeks or celeries, I prep them in here. Lots of products, obviously, I buy frozen. It saves me money. When it comes to finding things like meat on offer or on sale, I then split that into the packs that I'm going to use it for. Going down to here again, you can see I've done all of that. I've split my meat packs. And as you know, I only buy them when they're on sale. And the other one is, with all of our meals, we supplement it with frozen fruit and vegetables. And finally, let's go through my strategies to make sure that when I go to the supermarket, I get exactly what I need, no more and no less. So this is what I do. I always do my stock checks before I go to the supermarket. I then meal plan from what I've got here first and what needs using up first. Next, then I write my list. Of course, there's going to be things I need for the pantry, everyday fruit and vegetables, milk, cheese, butter, eggs, all of those usual things. And then when I've written my list, I photograph it with my phone camera because I've got it then. I never go anywhere without my phone, but I promise you, I have arrived at the supermarket without my list. The next thing I'm going to do is I've obviously previously held back and waited for the sales, the deals and the offers. But my supermarket apps, sometimes you have to click something or tick something or do something to kind of magically release the digital coupon that exists in my phone. So when I actually get to the supermarket, I go at the right time. It is really important, if you want the sales or the deals or the offers, that I get there as soon as the shop opens. I went recently because a mixture of pork and beef, ground beef, pork, was $7.99 a kilo. I got there at about 10 o'clock in the morning. There were only 4 packets left. That was it. So I make sure I get there as early as I can. And when I arrive at the store, I turn off the car engine and I gather myself. Have I got my list? Read through my list. Check that I have everything, because I often remember things at the last minute going into the supermarket. And I also calm myself. I absolutely ground myself and ready for this, knowing which sections I'm going to. And sometimes it's on my list that some things I'm buying in one supermarket and some things I'm buying in another. It is a supermarket's job to make sure that they get as much money out of me as they possibly can. And it is my job, when I walk through the door of that supermarket, to make sure that I spend only what I want to spend. Am I getting good value for money? Am I eating as healthily as I possibly can for the money? Am I avoiding ultra-processed food? Am I doing our best with our budget? Am I keeping my home, my pantry, my freezer stocked up to the level that I am comfortable with? Thank you so much for watching. We hope that you found that video useful today. If you did, make sure that you hit the thumbs up button. And this is really important. Some of you are watching on the TV. Make sure that you just use the TV device to scroll along and hit the thumbs up. It's really, really important. I can't emphasize it enough. It really helps us. Thanks to everybody who watches. Thanks to everybody who lets 1 or 2 of the adverts roll, because that is how we YouTubers earn a living. And we will see you on the next video. Bye for now.